So, about crystalline structure po, crystalline structures of solids. Okay, so we are referring about the crystallinity and of the material po. Okay, especially the metal. Okay, so last time on our face-to-face meeting, so we already discussed the different types of crystalline structure. Okay, so we we determine the coordination number for each type, the number of atoms. Okay, so we already discussed on how to determine the number of atoms of different crystalline structure, and then the relationship between the edge and the atomic radius. And the last one po is we discuss po on how to determine the atomic packing factor of each crystalline structure. Okay? So today po, we will be discussing about the theoretical density, the difference between the crystalline and non-crystalline structure, and also the imperfections of solid. Okay? So, so wait for a while po. Okay. I will be using po our module for ano po, for the discussions. Okay. Okay. So wait lang po. Did you see po the presentation? So wait lang po. Stop. There's something wrong. Okay. Okay, so did you see po the presentation? Is it clear? Hello?
Yes, kita na po.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so we will now continue po the discussions about the crystalline structure of the solid. So we are going to discuss po is about to determine the theoretical density of every elements po. Okay? So for the density computations po, so we have here po the formula in order to determine the theoretical density of an elements. Ano po? Sabi dito, a knowledge of the crystal structure of the metallic solid permits computations of its theoretical density through the relationship. So this is the formula to be used in order to determine the density of the element. Okay, so 'di ba, we have po the the formula of the density is equal to the mass. Okay? So mass over the volume. Did you remember it po? Okay. So I will change po the presentations. Wait lang po. Okay. So this is the formula for the theoretical density po. The derivations po of the formula for the theoretical density. Did you see it po? Hello? Okay, so the formula for the density is equal to the mass over the volume. Okay? And then when we are repairing po in terms of the atoms, So, the mass po is equal to the number of atoms per unit cell multiplied by the mass of each atoms. Yan. So, this is the formula for the mass. And the mass of each atoms is equal po to the atomic weight and over po the Avogadro's number. So, which is equal to 6.023 times 10 to the 23rd atoms per mole. That is why po we arrive with this formula. So, we have mass. Mass is the number of atoms. So, we have here po the number of atoms per unit cell multiply by the mass of each atom. So, the mass of each atom is equal to the atomic weight all over the Avogadro's number. So, remember po this value. So, this is the constant value po of the Avogadro's number. So, we have 6.023 times 10 to the 23rd atoms per mole. And we have here po the volume. So, we are referring to the volume per unit cell. So, it depends if the material, if the element is, it depends on the crystalline structure of the elements. So if it is hexagonal, so we will use po the formula for the volume of the hexagonal prism po. And then we, if it is cubical, so we will use po the formula for ano po, for cubical, for cubic po. Okay. So this is the formula in order to determine po the theoretical density. And this one is the different ano po, characteristics of the selected elements po at 20 degrees Celsius. So we have here po a different elements. And then we are going to determine po the theoretical density of the copper. Yan. So take note of the value of the for the parameters po of the copper. So for the copper, so we have here po atomic weight of 63.55 and then a density po of 8.94. So this is po what we call po the actual density. So 8.94 is the actual density and copper have an ano po, have a FCC crystalline structure and atomic radius of 0.128. Yan. Sorry po ha kasi I didn't bring po the pen tablet in here. So we are working from home po. Yan. So we have here po, take note of this value po. So copper has atomic weight of 63.55, density, actual density of 8.94, crystalline structure of FCC, and then atomic radius of 0.128. So by using po this formula, so we will determine po the theoretical density. So first po is this is the other given po. So when we say FCC, so we have 4 atoms. Did you still remember po? If the crystalline structure is FCC, the number of atoms per unit cell is equal to 4. That is why po, ang nakalagay dito is 4 atoms per unit cell. And then, we have 63.55. So, the given po is, yan, AMU. And then, it is equivalent po to 1 gram per mole. 1 AMU is equivalent to 1 gram per mole. And the atomic radius is 0.128 nanometer. Since the density po of the elements is in gram per cm cube, that is why po we converted the value of the radius into centimeter. So which is equivalent to 0.128 times 10 to the negative 7 centimeter. Did you understand po? Okay. So using this value, so we will compute po for the theoretical density. But before we are going to compute po the density, so we have to determine first the volume per unit cell. So the volume per unit cell. So since we have no value po for A, diba? We have no value of A. That is why, so we can use the relationship between A and R in order to determine the volume per unit cell. Okay? So for the FCC, so the relationship between the edge and atomic radius is equal to yan, A is equal to 4R over square root of 2. Yan. And using po the R value, so we arrive at the volume of unit cell is equal to 4.75 times 10 to the negative 23 cm cube. Is this clear po? Thumbs up po if it is clear. Wala? Hindi po naintindihan? Okay. So, okay, again. So, if in for us to determine po the volume per unit cell, so the formula to be used po is A cube. Naririnig niyo ba po ako ng ayos? Or choppy naman? Choppy po. Okay. Yeah. So, in order to determine po the volume per unit cell, okay, so the formula, since it is FCC, so the formula to determine the volume per unit cell is equal to A cubed. Since A is not given, so we can use the relationship between the edge and the radius, between A and the R. Okay? So for FCC crystal structure, since copper has a FCC crystal structure, so the relationship between the edge and R po is equal. So, po, A is equal to 4R over square root of 2. So this is the relationship. And then by um by substituting the value of the atomic radius, we will arrive po at the value of the volume per unit cell is equal to 4.75 times 10 to the negative 23 cm cube. Yan. Kindly verify po if it is correct po. Makiki-compute ako. Tama? Okay. Okay, so for this formula po of the theoretical density, so we have n number of atoms per unit cell. Since it is FCC, so we have 4 atoms per unit cell. And then the value of atomic weight po is 63.55 grams per mole. We have the value of BC and then a constant value of Avogadro's number. And then by substituting po the value, so we will arrive po at the theoretical density of the copper is equal to 8.89 grams per cm cube. So kindly check po if it is correct. Tama? Is it correct po? Did you get it po? Is it clear? Okay. Is it clear po? Makiki-thumbs up po ako kung clear po sa inyo. So this is the this is how we solve the theoretical density for each element. Any questions po? Anyone po? May questions po ba? Yay. Hello po. Wala? Okay, so try to solve this po. Okay, so next we have po the value of, kindly compute po the theoretical density for the, what do you want po, element? Here, the barium. Kindly solve po. Kaya, check nyo lang po if you can solve po the theoretical density of the barium. We have po the same, same given, atomic radius, density, crystalline structure, and the atomic weight. So, we can solve po the theoretical density. Okay po. So, kindly solve po. I will give you 5 minutes to solve po the theoretical density of the barium. Okay? Okay po? Pupuyod lang po. Pupuyod. Hello, are you done po? Anyone? Anyone po na pwede pong mag-present? Yes po, Mr. Lance. You want to present your answer? Or do you have any questions?
Ma'am, parang di ko po mape-present po kasi nasa papel lang po since naka-laptop po.
Pwede po. By picturean mo lang po.
Sige po, wait lang po.
Okay.
Pwede ko po i-send na lang sa GC po.
Okay. Pa! Dito na.
Ma'am, pwede na po ako mag-start.
Yes po. Wala. Off pala yung mic ko. Kindly present na po.
Bali, ang ginawa ko po sa barium po ay kinuha ko po muna yung atomic weight na 137.33 po. And
sige, ako na lang po yung ako ba ang magpe-present?
sige po. Naka-laptop. Ay, kahit ako na po pala.
Nakatagilid kasi. Mr. Lance.
Kita na po.
Yeah. Presenting. Yes po.
Sa yun nga po, sa barium po, una ko pong kinuha is atomic weight po dahil po dun sa table. And sunod po is atomic radius na 0.217 and since ang Nm po equals po sa times 10 to negative 7 raised to negative 7 cm po, kaya yun lang po. Then po sa BCC po, ang atoms po niya ay equals po sa 2. And sa volume per unit cell po ay kinuha ko po yun gamit po yung formula na 4R over square root of 3 po. Then po, sinag ko po yun. Then ang lumabas po is 1.25, 85, 69, 762 times 10 raised to negative 3 po. Raised to negative 22 po. Then po, nakuha na po natin yung mga value po na kailangan po i-substitute po dun sa value ng density. Then 2 times 133.33 over yung BC po natin na nakuha times po sa Avogadro's law na 6.023 times 10 to raised to 23 po. And nakuha po nating theoretical value po ng barium ay 3.5705.40149 po.
Okay. Same answer with the others po. Did you have the same po, no? Same values po? No. So for the barium, so the density po for the actual po is 3.57 and Mr. Lance po arrived with a value po of 3.57. So very similar. Very malapit lang po dun sa ating actual density. Yes po, Mr. Ah, you arrive with 3.623. Did you use po the same relationship between the A and R? Okay. Okay. So, konti lang naman po yung difference. As long as tama yung way ng inyong pagsasolve. So, okay lang po if meron pong konting discrepancy po. Okay? Okay. So, let's continue po our discussions. So, since we are done po with the theoretical density, so we are now here po to discuss the crystalline and non-crystalline structures and the imperfections of the solids. Yan. So, wait for a while. Okay, did you see po the presentation? Makikita niyo na po ang presentation? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, so we will be discussing po about the difference between the crystalline and non-crystalline materials. Okay, so for the crystalline po, so we have here po, there are two types of crystalline materials po. So we have the single crystal and what we call po the polycrystalline materials. Okay, so when we are dealing po with the single crystal, so it is habi dito, for a crystalline solids, so when the periodic and repeated arrangement of atoms is perfect or extend throughout the entirety of the specimen without interruptions, so the result is single crystal. Okay? So all unit cells interlock in the same way and have the same orientations. So just like what we discussed po last time, so when we say crystalline structure, meron po siyang pattern. Ano po? They have an order or arrangement of the atoms. So if sabi dito, the periodic and repeated arrangement of atoms is perfect. So perfect or extend throughout the entirety of the specimen without interruptions. So single crystal po yun. Okay? So sabi dito, single crystal exists in nature, but they can also produce artificially. So they are ordinarily difficult to grow because of the environment. So must be carefully controlled. Yeah. So yung ating pong yung pag-grow ng ating crystal po is siya po is naturally, pwede po siyang naturally or pwede po siyang artificial. And then but medyo mahirap yung kanyang pag-grow because pwede siyang ma-affect po by the environment. So, dapat daw ay controlled. Ibig sabihin, so we have to maintain the environment in order for a crystal, single crystal po to grow. Ano po? Yan. So, if the extremities of a single crystal are permitted to grow without an external constraint, yan, so the crystal assume a regular geometric shape having flat faces. Yan. As with some of the gemstone. So the shape is indicative of the crystal structure. So one of the example po of the single crystal is the garnet, as shown po in figure 3.1. So this is the the figure po or the picture or the sample picture po of a single crystal. And then this is po yung ating tinatawag na garnet. So, sabi dito, within the past few years, single crystal have become extremely important in many modern technologies. So, in particular, electronic microcircuits, so which employ single crystal of silicon and other semiconductors. So, very useful po ang ating single crystal in terms of the electronics po, sa electronics industry because of the silicon and other semiconductors. Okay? So, when we are referring po sa semiconductors, so, yun po is about electronic industries po. And another po is the polycrystalline materials. Okay? So, most crystalline solids po are composed of a collections of many small crystal or grains. Yan. So, which materials are termed polycrystalline? So, in figure 3.2 po, so it shows po the different stages of various stages po in the solidifications po of the polycrystalline specimen po. So, this is the sample structure ng ating mga material kapag nag-start na po mag-solidify yung atin pong material. So, polycrystalline material. So, the first one po is we have here po the small crystallite nuclei. So, ito po yung pag-grow ng atin pong ng ating single crystal or many crystals po. Okay. So, for the A po is we have here po the small crystallite nuclei, and then it is this small crystallite nuclei po will grow and nagiging ganito na po siya, dumadami po siya. So, nag-grow po siya na nag-grow. So, letter B po is growth of the crystallite. Yan. So, the obstructions of some grains that are adjacent to one another is also shown. So, makikita na natin kung saan po magkakaroon dyan ng pinaka-boundary. And then, after po, letter C, upon completion of solidifications. So, kapag ito po, nag-start siya mag-crystallize po sa letter A. And then, nabubuo siya ng pabuo. So, dumadami po yung kanyang single crystal or yung kanyang crystals. And then this part po is upon solidifications. Ano po? Grains have irregular shape and have form. And then letter D po. So the grain structure at it would appear under the microscope, dark lines of the grain boundaries. So as you can see po, makikita na natin in letter D the boundary between the different crystal po. So, they have a pattern. Tanya po, sunod-sunod po siya, dire-diretso po yung line niya. But, meron po tayong tinatawag na boundary. So, grain boundary po. So, ito yung boundary ng ating mga crystals po. Yan. So, as you can see po, kapag tinuntun po natin ito, yan, so magiging ganyan. Same lang po, ito yon. Yan. So, the boundary between po yung ating mga crystals. So, this is what we call po the grain. Yan. The grain boundary po. Okay. So, for the non-crystalline solids po, so as we discussed po last time, when we say non-crystalline solid, so it has no regular pattern po, no arrangement. So, it is sometimes called amorphous. So, meaning without form. Okay? So, sabi dito, sometimes such materials are also called amorphous or super cold liquids inasmuch as their atomic structure resembled that of the liquid. So, we have no form po when we say the non-crystalline solid. So, one of the example po, the comparison between the structure of the crystalline and non-crystalline solids po is we can see po in figure 3.25. So we have here po a same material. Ano po? Silicon dioxide. So we have here po silicon dioxide. So they have the same materials but they have different structures po. Okay? So the first one is what we call the crystalline silicon dioxide. So it has a pattern. Okay? So meron tayong arrangement, meron tayong pattern. While letter B po is the non-crystalline silicon dioxide. As you can see po, we have here po a different number of atoms. Ano po? Sa ating pong, yan. Sa ating mga net, ito yung ating pong sa ating pong material. So, as you can see, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 number of atoms. While this one, so they have different number of atoms po for each network. As you can see po, so walang pattern. So magulo po kapag non-crystalline. Okay? Sabi dito, even through each silicon ion bonds to 3 oxygen ion bonds per both state. So beyond this, the structure is much more disordered and irregular for the non-crystalline structure. So whether a crystalline or an amorphous solid forms depend on the ease with which a random atomic structure in the liquid can transform to the ordered state during solidifications. So, pinakamalaking effect po natin in terms of the structure is yung conditions, the environment during the solidifications. Okay, so sabi dito, amorphous materials therefore are characterized by atomic or molecular structures that are relatively complex and become ordered only with some difficulty. And then, furthermore, rapid cooling. Yan. Rapid cooling through the freezing temperature favor the formation of the non-crystalline solid. Yan. Because little time is allowed for the ordering processes. So, since mabilisan po yung kanyang pag-freeze, so na-disorient po siya. Ano po, kaya siya ay naging crystalline po yung kanyang arrangement po. Naging non-crystalline po since hindi po naayos ng hindi po na-order. Parang hindi pa ready, parang hindi pa ayos yung pila, ay tapos na stop na. Kasi yun yung example po. So, sabi dito, little time is allowed for the ordering processes. That is why po, we have here po the non-crystalline silicon dioxide. So, because we use po rapid cooling or quenching na tinatawag. Okay? So, metals normally form crystalline solid, but some materials are crystalline, whereas others, the organic gases, are amorphous. Yan. So, polymers may be completely non-crystalline or semi-crystalline, consisting of varying degree of crystallinity. As usual po, so there is many variations po of the properties po pagdating natin sa polymers. So, pwede po siyang crystalline, semi-crystalline, yan. So, it depends po on the degrees of the crystallinity ng ating mga materials. Okay? Okay. So, we are done po with the comparison between the crystalline and non-crystalline solids. So, the last topic po for the module 2 is the imperfections of solids. Yan. Do you hear me clearly po? Narinig niyo po ako ng ayos po.
Yes po.
Yan. So we have here po a different effects in terms po of the imperfections of the solid. So we have the point defects, and then another one po is the dislocations or the linear defects, and then interfacial defects. And then we have here po, interfacial defects po. Then, and the bulk or volume defects again. So for the point defects po, so we have here po the different types po of point defects. So we have the vacancy and self-interstitials. And another po na defects is we have po the impurities yan, in the solids. So this is the defect po for the ano po, yung pag sinabi nating point defects. So in terms of the atoms, okay? Sabi dito, the simplest of the point defects is the vacancy. So the vacancy of ano po, meaning po siya po yung missing atom. So this is the point defects po in terms of the vacancy. So there is a missing atom po. Yan. So meron tayong nawawalang atom. Yan. So hindi perfect yung ating pattern because of the missing atom. And for this po, for this figure, so the atoms po na dapat nandito sa vacancy is napapunta po siya dito sa other part. So hindi siya na-arrange ng ayos. So meaning, yan. So meron po, although crystalline pa rin po siya, so just like what yung sinasabi natin, so nobody is perfect. Lagi po siya may imperfections. Ano po? So, kahit akala natin na perfect na, pero hindi pa po. Ano po? So, meron tayo dito na vacancy and yung tinatawag po natin na self-interstitial. So, when we say po self-interstitial, so same elements po, but they go po dun sa ating mga ano po, vacant spaces po. Dun sa mga spaces natin. So, yan po yung tinatawag natin na self-interstitial or the vacancy. Okay. Sabi dito, all crystalline solid contains vacancies. And in fact, it is not possible to create such material that is free of these defects. So, lahat po ay may defects. Lahat ng material po is may ganitong defects. So, vacancy is normal po sa ating pong mga materials. So, the necessity of the existence of vacancy is explained using the principle of thermodynamics. In essence, the presence of vacancy increase in entropy of the crystal. So, the equilibrium number of vacancy, so this one po is NV for a given quantity of the material. So, usually per meter cube depends on an increase with temperature. So, according to this formula po. So, we can determine po the number of vacancy po by using po this formula. Yan. So, katulad nga po ng sinabi dito, all crystalline solids contain vacancy. So, meron po silang imperfections. Ano po? So, in order to determine the number of vacancy po sa ating pong crystalline solids, so this is the formula to be used. So, we have here po NB is equal to N, yan, exponent of, yan, quantity of negative QB over ng KT. So, where N is the total number of atomic sites, and then QB is the energy required for the formation of the vacancy, and then it has a two units, so joule per mole or EB per atoms. And then T po is the absolute temperature in Kelvin. So, dapat po siya ay absolute temperature. When we say absolute temperature, so the value of the temperature should be in Kelvin. And the last one po, K is what we call po the gas or Boltzmann constant. So, it has a 2 value po. So, we have here po, yan, meron pala ako ditong mali. The value po of K is equal to 1.38 times 10 to the negative 23, yan, joule per atom Kelvin, or, yan, 0.62 times 10 to the negative 5 po. And then its unit is in EB per atom Kelvin. Okay? So, yan. Wala po akong how can I write po dito? So, wait lang ha. Titingnan ko po kung makakapagsulat po ako. Yan. Wala po ako. Hindi ko makita yung ano po, yung edit. Wait for a while po. Ayan, did you see po the presentation? So, the formula po, or the value po of gas or Boltzmann constant po is 8 point, so medyo most, 8.62. And so, times 10 and to the negative 5. So, EB yan, per atom. Did you see po yung sinusulat ko? Nakikita niyo ka po yung sinusulat ko?
Yes po, ma'am.
Yan. Pasensya na mabagal ako kasi yung sa laptop lang mismo yung ginagamit ko po. Okay. So, ang aking pen tablet po ay nasa school. So, we have here po the value po of K gas or Boltzmann constant is equal to 8.62 times 10 to the negative 5. So, EB per atom Kelvin. So, medyo kulang po kasi ito. Yan. So, pasensya na. And then, the K value po is depends on the value po of the energy required for the permeations of the vacancy. So, it depends po if it is joule per mole or EB per atom. Okay, so we have here po the sample computations for the number of vacancy, ayan, at specified temperature. Ayan. So, we have here po an example. So, the problem is, sabi dito, calculate the equilibrium number of vacancy per cubic meter per copper at 1,000 degrees Celsius. And then sabi dito, number of vacancy per cubic meter. And then the energy for formations is 0.9 EB per atom. The atomic weight and density at 1,000 degrees Celsius for copper is 63.5 grams per mole. So this is the atomic weight. And 8.4 po is for the density of the copper. So in order to determine the number of vacancy, so ang formula natin gagamitin is itong nasa taas. And NB is equal to N. Yan, exponent ha, exponent E. E raised to the negative QB over ng KT. Okay? So, in order to determine po the number of vacancy, so we have first to determine po the N. N po is what we call po the total number of atomic sites. Okay? So po siya ay naka-meter cube. Yan. So, meter cube. Okay. So, paano natin kukuhanin po ang N? Naka per meter cube po siya. So, first po, yan, para makuha po natin yung N, yan. Diba, may formula po tayo na density is equal to N. Yan. So, kukunin muna natin yung number of atoms per meter cube po. Yan. So, multiply daw po ng A all over the VC, ano pa, multiply by NA. Okay? So, di ba, ito po yung formula natin in order to determine the density. But, N po, yung N natin dito, total number of atomic site. So, yan po ay naka per meter cube. So, kakailangan din daw po natin kuhanin yung number po of atoms per cubic meter. So, ito yung kukuhanin natin. Paano natin siya makukuha? Yan po yung N natin. Naka per meter cube po. Yan. Number of atoms per meter cube. Yan. So, ang N kasi natin, yan, equal po siya sa N, yan, number of atoms per BC po. Yan. Volume ng unit cell. Tama ga po. So, kung ito po yung value ng ating N, tapos sinubstitute po natin siya dito, so, magiging ganito po yung equations ng ating, in order to determine po yung number of atoms per meter cube. Kasi yung ginagamit natin, di ba, dito, pag-compute po ng mga density, and then in terms of cm cube. So, this one po is in atoms per meter cube. Okay? So, iba yung kanyang value. So, we have to determine the number of atoms per meter cube po. Sa isang meter cube, gaano kadami yung number of atoms. Okay? So, para malaman natin yan, so ito po yung formula na gagamitin natin. Na, yan. So, we have here po the value po of Avogadro's number. So, parang kanina ay 6.023, ano po. So, we can use po 6.022. Okay po. So, ito kasi yung nasa book. Wait lang. Let's, babalikan lang po natin. Kasi yung nasa presentation is 6.023. But this, according po kay Callister, so we have here po 6.022. Okay? So, makiki-correct naman po ako. Naintindihan ka po? Makiki-correct po ako. The Avogadro's number is equal to, yan, 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. Naririnig niyo po ba ako?
Yes po, ma'am.
And so, atoms per mole po, multiply by the density. We have a given density of 8.4 grams per cm cube, multiply by, ito po is the conversions between meter cube and cm cube. Tama ga po. So, ito po yung cutting conversions from cm cube papunta po sa meter cube. So, divided by the atomic ratio, which is 63.5 grams per mole. And then, this one po is the value of N. So, this is the value of N. Okay? N is equal to, kindly check po if it is correct po. 8 times 10 to the 28 atoms per meter cube. Makikicheck po ako. Parang 7.9. Hello po. Tama po. Ang N. The value of N po. Dito lang muna tayo. This is the value of N.
Tama po, ma'am.
Ano, 7.9 or mismong 8 po?
7.9661
Okay.
something po.
Times 10 to the 28.
Yes po.
Okay. So we have here po the value of N, and then after determining the value of N, so we can now determine po the number of vacancy. So ito po is vacancy per meter cube. So number of vacancy per meter cube. So na-imagine nyo ba pag sinabi natin meter cube? So 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter po yung kanyang volume. Yung kanyang specifications. So, isang metro ng isang metro. So, malaki na po yun. So, napakalaki na ng volume nun. So, but, for this po, yan. So, we have here po the number of atoms per meter cube. And then, QB, so we have a given po of QB. So, QB po, or the energy for vacancy formation, is equal to 0.9 EB per atom. So since the unit of QB is EB per atom, so we can use po the value of K is equal to this one, 8.62 times 10 to the negative 5 EB per atom Kelvin. Okay, so if the given QB is in joule per mole, so we can use this po, this value. So since the given is EB per atom, so we will be using po 8.62 times 10 to the negative 5. This is one po is EB per atom Kelvin, because the value po of QB is 0.9 EB per atom. So medyo may kulang-kulang lang po. Aray na screenshot ko lang po. So same lang naman po. This one is per atom. And then, so same with this po. So atom, yan, so atom Kelvin. And then, for the value po of T, so sabi po, the T po is the absolute temperature of the temperature is 1000 degrees Celsius. So we have to convert it into Kelvin because we need po is the absolute temperature. So in order to have an absolute temperature, so we have to add yan, 273. So 1000 plus 273. So we have here po the value of absolute temperature is equal to 1273. Kelvin. Okay? So, and then we just, ilalagay lang po natin, substitute po the value. So, we have 8 times 10 to the 28 atoms per meter cube. E. So, E raised to the, this one po is negative. Negative 0.9 EB per atoms all over po ng 8.62 times 10 to the negative 5. So, ari po yung wala. Ayan. So, EB per atom Kelvin multiply by 1273 Kelvin. Okay, so kindly check po if it is correct po. So, we have po 2.19 times 10 to the 25 vacancy per meter cube. Yes po,
Same po, ma'am.
same lang. How about the others po? So, yung iba, you use po E raised to negative. Kasi when we are using po EXP, yung mismong EXP po dyan, so 0 po yung lalabas na sagot. So, we have to use po E raised to negative QB over po ng KT. Okay? So, yung iba po, ganun din po ba?
Yes po.
Same answer. Okay. So, did you get it po? Nakuha nyo on how to solve the number of vacancy? So, commonly po, the unit for the vacancy po, since it is stated in the problem is vacancy per cubic meter. So, that is why po, we need to convert the cm cube into meter cube po. So, ito po yung, this is our answer for the number of vacancy, yan, per meter cube. So, we have here po EB cancel. Atom, cancel. And then Kelvin, so cancel. So, that is why po, the unit is only po vacancy per meter cube. It is similar po. The number of vacancy, diba? The vacancy is the missing atom. So, similar lang po sila. Atoms per meter cube and vacancy per meter cube. So, it is the same lang po. Kasi, vacancy equal po siya sa, yun yung tinatawag natin na missing atom. Nako ha? Nakuha ga po. Okay? Nakuha niyo kung paano siya kuhanin. Makikithumbs up nga po. How about the others po? Hindi pa nakuha ng iba? Did you get it po? Okay. Okay, so next po. So for the, this is the way on how to compute po the number of vacancy or specified temperature po. And we have here po what we call the self-interstitial. So self-interstitial po is you can see po in figure this one po. This is what we call po the self-interstitial. So same element po, but nagpunta siya dun sa ating tinatawag na spaces. Sa mga spaces natin dito. So, dun po siya. Sa interstitial. Sa interstitial po siya pumunta. So, paningit. Sumingit lang po siya. So, ganun po. So, pinakamadaling term, yan, sumingit siya dun sa bakanteng spaces po. Okay? So, for the self-interstitial po, so it is the atom from the crystal that is crowded into an interstitial sites. So, a small void space that under ordinary circumstances is not occupied. So, doon siya pumupunta sa interstitial site. Yan. So, when we are referring to the interstitial site, so it is the small void spaces, that under ordinary circumstances that is not occupied. Yan. So, this kind of defect is also represented in figure 4.1. So, we have 4.1. So, wala pala dito yung ating point 4.1. Okay. So, wait for a while po ha. Saglit lang po. Yan. So, hello po. Sorry po for the interruptions. And mahirap talaga pag nasa bahay. Madami din pong nangaabala. Okay. Anyway po. Yan. So, let's continue po our discussions. Yan. So, yan. Sabi dito, when we say po self-interstitial, yan. So, siya po yung pumupunta sa ating interstitial site. Pag sinabi natin, when we say interstitial site, so it is the small spaces po dito sa ating mga atoms. So, they are being crowded po because of these self-interstitials. Okay? And then, sabi dito, wait lang. Sabi dito, in metals, a self-interstitial introduces relatively large distortions. So, nagkakaroon siya ng distortions kapag meron po tayong self-interstitials. So, in the surrounding lattice, because the atom is substantially and larger than the interstitial positions. Yan, we have po the small void spaces po sa pagitan ng ating mga atoms. But kapag nagkaroon tayo ng self-interstitial, so nagkakaroon na ng distortions. Nagkakaroon na yan ng misalignment. Ano po? So, because napakalaki ng ating yung nakasalpak dun sa spaces. Ano po? So, in which it is situated. So, consequently, the formation of this defect is not highly probable. And it exists in very small concentrations that are significantly lower than vacancies. So, hindi naman po kadalas po nangyayari kapag na ganito po, nagkakaroon tayo ng self-interstitials. So, hindi masyadong malaki din po yung defect po niya. Kasi, mas madami po talaga is yung vacancy. Nagkakaroon po tayo na tinatawag na vacancy. Yan. Another one po is what we call po the substitutional impurity atoms and the interstitials impurity atoms. Yan. So, if we have po the vacancy, so there is sometimes po nagkakaroon tayo ng substitutional impurity atoms. Yan. Sabi dito, the additions of impurity atoms to a metal results in the formation of solid solutions or a new second phase depending on the kinds of impurity, so their concentrations and the temperature of the alloy. So, with regards to alloys, solute or solvents are terms that are commonly employed, and solvent is the element or compound that is present in the greatest amount. On occasion, solvent atoms are also called the host atoms. So, solute is used to denote an element or compound present in a minor concentrations. Okay? So, nagkakaroon po tayo ng tinatawag natin na substitutional po, impurity atom. So, when we say impurity po, so meron napapahalo na iba. So, we have here po a different elements. And they substitute po the missing atom. So, this is what we call po the substitutional impurity atoms. And then this one, this is the interstitials impurity atoms. So, impurity atoms that go po dun sa ating interstitial sites. Yan. Dito sa mga bakante na to, so dyan po pumupunta yung ating interstitial impurity atoms. Okay? So, naintindihan po yung difference ng apat. So, we have po the vacancy, but this is what we call po yung ating tinatawag na missing atom. Tapos, self-interstitials. And then we have po the substitutional impurity atoms. And the last one po is the interstitial impurity atoms. So, when we say po impurity, so, may napahalo po na iba. We have a different atoms po. Naintindihan? So, same lang po. Okay, so, and then, naririnig niyo po ba ako? Hello?
Yes po, ma'am.
Naintindihan ka po yung difference po ng apat before po ako proceed po dun sa ating dislocations. So when we say po frequency, so may missing atom tayo. And then when we say po self-interstitial, so same elements, but they go po on yung sa ating tinatawag na interstitial sites. So pumupunta siya sa ibang lugar. So hindi siya umayon dun sa pattern ng isang crystalline structure. Okay? And then for the substitutional impurity atoms po, so we have a different elements. They substitute po for the missing atoms. And the last one is the interstitial impurity atom. So impurity atom, so other elements also. And then they go po, yan, dito siya sumisingit on the interstitial sites. That is why it is called interstitial impurity atom. Nakuha? So commonly po, the defects po in terms of the point defects is the frequency po. Yun yung normal. So all crystalline solids po have these defects. So itong mga iba po, other defects is hindi po ganun kalala, hindi po ganun kalaki yung defects compared po kay vacancy. So siya po ay paminsan-minsan lang po nangyayari. Ano po? And there is konti lang yung nagiging defects po niya in terms of the property of the material. Okay? Naliwanag?
Yes po.
And then another defects po is what we call dislocations or yung tinatawag natin na linear defects. So because of the arrangement of the atom, so there is a possibility po that there is also a linear defects po. So this is what we call po a dislocations. So when we say dislocations, so it is a linear or one-dimensional defects around which some of the atoms are misaligned. So we are referring po in linear defects po ha. Misaligned. So nagkaroon ng misalignments. So one type of dislocation is represented in figure 4.4. So we have here po, yan, but ito ay 3 yan, sorry po. So dapat siya ay 3.4. So this is what we call po the edge dislocations. So this is termed an edge dislocations. So it is a linear defect that center on the line that is defined along the end of the extra half plane of atoms. So this is sometimes termed the dislocation line. So which for the edge dislocations, so is perpendicular to the plane of the page. So within the region around the dislocation line, so there is some localized lattice distortions. So, nagkakaroon po siya ng misalignment po ha. So, nagkakaroon tayo ng edge dislocations po katulad nito. So, hindi siya nag-continue. So, na-dislocate po siya. So, tumigil na siya doon. Okay? So, this is the example po of the dislocations of the arrangement of our atoms. Hindi siya nagtuloy-tuloy, just like this po. Yan. Yan. So, dito, tumigil siya. Naintindihan po. This is what we call po the edge dislocations po. So, na-dislocate na siya. So, hindi na siya nagtuloy-tuloy po dito. Okay? So, nangyayari po yan is during the solidifications po of the material. So, they have po this what we call these imperfections of because of the process of the solidifications. So napakalaki po ng effect ng kung paano natin isa-solidify yung ating material. Ano po? So katulad nga ng sinabi natin, there is a certain effect po dun sa crystalline and non-crystalline crystallinity of the materials po. The degree of crystallinity of the materials, it depends po dun sa ating processes involved. Okay? And another type po of dislocation is what we call po the screw dislocations. So, this is the example po of the screw dislocations. So, na-misalign po siya din. So, sa halip na dito po siya, yeah, so lumampas po siya dito. So, this is what we call po the dislocations in terms po ng screw dislocations. Sabi dito, another type of dislocations called the screw dislocations. So, may be thought of as being formed by a shear stress that is applied to produce a distortions. Yan. Because of the stresses applied, so the atoms po is nag-move. So, na-dislocate po siya. Okay? So, the atomic distortions associated with the screw dislocations is also called linear and along the dislocations line. Okay? So, ito yung tinatawag natin na screw dislocations. As you can see po, yan, na-dislocate po yung ating, yung buo, yung itong portions na to, yan, ay na-dislocate. Yan. So, umusod siya because of the shear stresses po. Okay? Another type po of linear defects is what we called mixed dislocations po. So when we say mixed dislocation, it is the combinations between the edge dislocations and the screw dislocations. Yan. As you can see po in this figure, so this part po is the screw dislocations. And this part is what we call po the edge dislocations. So, if meron po tayong parehas na ganyan, so ang tawag po sa kanya is mixed dislocations. Okay? Okay na po. Hello. Naintindihan po. So, what is the difference between edge, screw, and mixed dislocations? Naintindihan ka po? Uy. Did you understand po?
Yes.
Okay, so another types of defects po is what we call the interfacial defects. So, when we are po dealing with the interfacial defects, so we are referring po with the boundaries. Sabi dito, are boundaries that have two dimensions and normally separate regions of the materials that have different crystal structure or crystallographic orientations. Yan. So, these imperfections include external surfaces, grain boundaries, phase boundaries, twin boundaries, or the stacking pole. Yan. So, this is what we call po the interfacial defects. Okay. So, we have here po the what we call po the external surfaces. Sabi dito, for the external surfaces, so surface atoms are not bonded to the maximum number of nearest atoms and therefore in a higher energy state than the atoms at interior positions. The bond of these surface atoms that are not satisfied give rise to a surface energy. And then it is expressed in units of energy per unit area. So to reduce this energy, so material tends to minimize, if all possible, the total surface area. So when we say po, external surfaces, so as stated po dito, hindi niya po na-attain yung maximum number of nearest neighbor. So, di ba, in last time po, when we are discussing po the different crystalline structure, so we have po, ideally, meron tayong mga number of, yung ating coordination number, the number of neighboring atoms. But in this case po, it is not maximized. So, hindi lahat. hindi lahat po ng atoms is nagkaroon siya ng in contact. Hindi siya nagkaroon ng bonding. Okay? And then another po is we have po defects po in terms of the grain boundaries. So nagkakaroon po siya ng misalignment. Sabi dito, a grain boundary is represented symmetrically from the atomic perspective in figure 3.8. So, nagkakaroon lang siya ng certain, sabi dito, which is probably just several atoms distances wide. There is some atomic mismatch in the orientations from the crystalline orientations and on grain to that of the adjacent one. So, various degree of crystallographic misalignment between adjacent grains are possible. So, makikita natin siya in figure 3.8. So, nagkakaroon daw po siya ng misalignment po. Katulad nito, dapat ganito po yung ating boundary. Yan. Pero nagkakaroon po siya ng, sabi dito, angle of misalignment. So, hindi siya properly po yung arrangement ng ating boundary. So, ito po yung ginagamit natin, 'di ba, kapag upon solidifications po. So, meron tayong tinatawag na grain boundary. Yan yung pagitan na yan. So, dapat ganito yung kanyang boundary. But, nagkakaroon po dito ng mga misalignment po. Angle of misalignment in terms of the boundary. Then, so, ito daw po yung example niya. And then, meron din tayong tinatawag na tilt boundary and what we call po the twist boundary. Okay. So, ito yung example ng ating how a tilt boundary having an angle of misorientations po result from an alignment of edge dislocations. So, parang katulad nung kanina, for the edge dislocations po. So, since nagkaroon po siya ng misalignment po, yan. So, yan. Nagkakaroon po dito ng dislocations. Hindi siya nagtutuloy-tuloy po. So, yung angle niya is nagkakaroon ng misalignment po in terms of the angle. In terms of the orientations. Ano po. And then, we have here po phase boundaries naman. Sabi dito, phase boundaries exist in multi-phase materials in which different phase exist on each sides of the boundary. So furthermore, each of the constituent phase has its own distinctive physical and chemical properties. Ayan, characteristics. So, phase boundaries plays an important role in determining the mechanical properties of some multi-phase metal alloys. So, in terms naman po siya ng phasing. So, nagkakaroon po tayo ng multi-phase ng ating mga material po. And then, yung next naman natin is what we call po yung twin boundaries. Yan. Kapag sinabi nating twin boundaries, so special type po siya ng grain boundaries kung saan nagmi-mirror po siya. So, nagmi-mirror, so which there is a specific mirror lattice symmetry. So, parang natutulad po niya. So, that is atoms on one side of the boundary are located in mirror image position to those of the atoms of the other side. So, ito po na may mirror niya yung kabila. So, and then yung sa pagitan ng dalawa, yan. Yun yung tinatawag natin na twin plane or twin boundaries po. So, sa pagitan, kapag ganito po yung arrangement ng ating atoms, dapat kasi yan straight, dire-diretso. Since nagkakaroon nga po ng imperfections, so hindi siya naging straight. So, dito po, na may mirror lang niya po. Yan. And the last one po is what we call the bulk or volume defects. Ito po yung nakikita natin. Pag sinabing bulk or volume defects, this one po is yung may mga void po or pores cracks, yan yung mga foreign inclusions and other phases po. Yan yung tinutukoy natin na volume or bulk or volume defects. So, marami po siyang number of vacancy din po doon. Number of vacancy po. So, napakaraming, ito yung isang part po. Ang pagtingin kasi dito is macro na eh. So, yung atin po, pag sinabi natin vacancy, yun po yung ano po, pagtingin natin sa parang mas malalim or mas ano po siya, mas focus po tayo in terms of the atoms. So, this one naman po is for the bulk defects po. Kapag masyadong malaki na po yung defects natin, kapag halimbawa may mga butas, yan, this include pores po, yan, yung mga kapag may mga crack, and then may other foreign matter po dun sa ating pong material. So, yun yung tinatawag natin na bulk or volume defects. Right? So, these defects are normally introduced during the processing and fabrication step. So, all these defects are capable of acting as a stress razor. So, if we have po a crack and then meron tayong butas, so doon po nag-o-occur yung tinatawag natin na stress razor po. Stress razor. Doon po aatakihin. Doon po mas malaki yung na-apply po natin na load. And kalimitan, doon po nagkakaroon po ng deformations or doon nag-start na magkaroon ng failure yung ating materials. So, what we call po the stress razor. Okay? So, stress razor po ito pong ating pores, yan, mga cracks and the foreign inclusions po. Sabi dito, and thus deleterious to parent metal's mechanical behavior. So, however, in some cases, foreign particles are added purposely to strengthen the parent material. So, some naman po, nagkakaroon po tayo ng other impurities or tinatawag natin na alloying, di ba? In order to improve the property of the material. Yan. Meron tayo din ditong dispersion hardening. So, sadya po tayo naglalagay po ng mga foreign particles. Yan. So, act as obstacles to movement of dislocations which facilitate plastic deformations. So, the second phase particles act in two distinct ways. So, particles either may be cut by the dislocations or the particle resists cutting and dislocations are forced to bypass them. And strengthening due to ordered particles is responsible for the good high temperature strength or many superalloys. So, however, pores are detrimental because they reduce effective load-bearing area and act as stress concentration sites. So, ito lang yung medyo mahirap po sa atin yung force. Yan. Yung butas. Pag nagkaroon po tayo ng butas, dun sa atin pong material, yan. So, dun po nag-start yung ating pong pagkakaroon ng failure. Kasi, mas mababa yung needed po na force natin para ma-increase natin. Ano po? Kasi, once na meron pong force, so, yun yung laging, dun po magkakaroon ng mas malaking stresses. So, mag-start sa pore, and then, dun po, after ng pore, yan. Doon sa butas po, mag-start doon. So, palaki siya ng palaki hanggang sa mag-occur na siya into a failure. Kaya po, iniiwasan din po yung mga ganito pong defects. Okay? Yan. So, yan po. Hanggang dyan po yung discussions natin for the module 2. Yan. So, if wala po kayong gagawin, yan, pwede nyo pong sagutan yung atin pong chapter test. So, this is, so, what is the difference between atomic structure and crystal structure? And then show, so, we are done with, ganito. Show the body-centered cubic structures that the unit cell edge length, A, and the atomic radius are related through A is equal to 4R over the opponent square root of 3. So, we already arrived po this value. And for the number 3 po, yan, calculate the radius of the Tantalum. So, using po the value, the density, the atomic weight, and the BCC crystal structure. So, how can we determine po the atomic radius? Yan. So, meron po siyang kinalaman in terms of the, syempre, sa volume, kapag nahanap na natin yung volume, so, and then the relationship between A and R, so, makukompute na natin yung radius po of the Tantalum. And, yan. Same with this po. And last po is calculate the number of vacancy for cubic meter in gold. So, yan. Pwede nyo pong isolve po yan as a review. Yan. Pero kasi hindi na ako makakapagpagawa po ulit ng exercises. Sa susunod na lang po ulit magkakapagpagawa po ako ng exercises. Yan. Do you have any questions po? So, we are done po with module 2. So, do you have any questions po? Any questions po? Wala. Wala po?
None po, ma'am.
Okay, so, if wala na pong questions, kindly open po your camera for the attendance. Sino pong pwede mag-screenshots? Anyone po na pwede mag-screenshot? Wala po? Makiki-open po ako ng camera. Kindly open your camera, please. Ashley.
Yes, ma'am.
Pwede ka po mag-screenshot.
Hindi po kasi kita yung lahat ng tile sa akin.
Sa akin din kasi. Anyone po, nakita po ang lahat. Sige po. Yung iba po, wala pong nakalagay. Mr. Ernest. Gabriel. Okay na. Okay na. So, makikisend po ako sa ating group chat. And then, if wala na po kayo questions, you can leave po. And then, thank you so much po for attending. So, ingat po lahat.
Thank you po, ma'am.